The Gender Studies MA at UCL was recommended to me by my head of department where I did my undergraduate degree, and he said to me it was probably one of the most cutting-edge programmes in the UK, and I definitely felt that was the case.
But gender studies is not only about feminism. Gender studies is a much wider area.
I'm based in the School of Slavonic and East European Studies, and so a lot of the students who want to write on that region obviously come to my department.
Well, I come from literary criticism. I'm a literary critic. I come from Israeli literature, Hebrew literature, and probably being born in Israel and working on literature in Israel, in Hebrew, made me a devout feminist.
I've been looking most recently at homophobia in Eastern Europe and why a lot of homophobia in the region is sort of legitimised by politicians with reference to the nation.
We have sessions that aim at masculinity formation in art, in visual art, in gay culture.
So this idea that sort of gender studies is just about women is something that needs to be dismissed.
The gender family, as we call it, has been a very close cohort of friends, and that was apparent very, very early on.
So I took up gender, and of course once I met Scylla and the group, I was sucked into this family and this world, and it was wonderful.
Everybody sat together and had dinner in Scylla's family home with her husband and in the family room. It was so lovely, and I think ever since then it really set the tone for a lovely kind of family kind of vibe.
My undergrad was in German and English literature, and I came to gender completely by accident, really.
My degree was in European Studies with Politics.
Did English at the University of Birmingham. On that course I got really interested in the gender aspects, so I did, in my dissertation I did masculinities of Ben Jonson.
Studied social anthropology for my undergraduate degree, and then I went to work in the women's sector.
And I really wanted to expand on the kind of things that I was studying, and I also found, because I started work after my course had finished, that I really wanted to apply some of the more theoretical stuff that I've been reading about to the real world.
A lot of people are going to work in law, and some are in Parliament.
I worked in the women's sector in London for about 3 years before I decided that I wanted to take a bit of time out and do some studying of the issues that I was working on in a practical way, because there wasn't a lot of room in my jobs for thinking about this in intellectual and theoretical ways.
And then other people are going to do PhDs, some people want to go and work in third world countries. It's just been quite amazing.
I requested to do a module that wasn't on the list, which was in political economy, health, development and welfare, because economics was a passion of mine and I thought it would fit quite well, and because that module was about equality, it was agreed that I could do that as part of the Gender Studies Masters, and it was fantastic. I was the only Gender Studies student in a room full of business students, but they were really understanding, and it was fascinating, and a great combination with development to talk about gender and development finance. And I ended up doing my dissertation on the financial crisis and gender.
Being an international student has been absolutely fantastic, and being such a part of such an amazing international university and being with so many other students from all over the world, whether they're American or Australian or from other parts of England or Greece or Germany or whatever, it's been absolutely amazing. And it has provided, I know in our course, for significantly more diverse and interesting discussion, because we've had people from all over the world giving their kind of cultural experiences to situations that we've been discussing.
All my other modules piece together issues to do with representation, and my area is literature, so representation in literature and gender studies and gender theory became the foundation, the cement between all those building blocks.
So the degree in that respect really opens up an enormous scope for possibility post-university life.
And I think this is one of the best things about the programme, is that the teaching is so research-led. So students are getting access to sort of cutting-edge, groundbreaking research before it's even published.
Pursuing something that had been such a strong undercurrent and making it overt sort of subject matter would be quite interesting, and I've loved every second of it.